People, the 20th of March 2020 for me was seeming to be like a normal day. Sipping coffee, nodding my head to the world. Why? Because I'm about to go to the gym and lift a lot of weight. I've done that thing where I grab my Gymshark vest, look at the cameraman, throw it over him, utter disrespect, but all of a sudden I'm changed. Don't know how it happens, but somehow it happens. Next, I'll grab my micronutrients. Why? Because vitamins and minerals are an essential part of life. Go to grab a protein shake, then think, nah, not one. Today, we're taking the old tub. Why? Because I'm lifting a lot of weight. Water involved as well. Skipping rope, get in. And that pink mat is getting involved as well. Why? Because, don't blame me, sometimes I like to stand out, all right? That's why. Night shoes on with the socks because we match every single day. Door, fly open. This is where it gets serious because I'm walking with complete, utter anguish because dumbbells are going to get thrown about in the gym today. It's that kind of vibe. Inside the lift we go. 1, 2, 3, and next minute we're walking out because we're going at that rate. On the way to the gym, we're moving quick. It's a fast pace. We don't open doors. We kick doors open when we're going to the gym. We kick them open, okay? Guys, this isn't easy for me to say, but this is where life changed and it really got difficult. Walking, smiling, there I am, and I've seen it for the first time. I heard rumours, but guys, gyms are closed and it's time for me to accept it. But people, follow me on the journey to how I'm staying fit during quarantine. Guys, as you can see, the start of quarantine for me was not easy at all, as I'm sure it wasn't for everyone else that loves lifting weights. Weights have been taken away, gyms have been closed, and I had to develop this whole new training routine called non-weight training. A training method that I've seen people do before in the gym, and I looked at them and kind of questioned, are you here to just not make gains? Like, is that how it is? However, my thought on non-weight training now has completely changed. Right, so in this video, I'm going to explain all the things that I've learned, all the things that I've actually planned, and also how training in quarantine has completely changed my life for the better. Right, so on the first day that all the gyms closed, the first thing I did was, I think the same thing which everyone did. In fact, no, it 100% was, because I went to buy loads of gym equipment and I got 2 answers. It was sold out, or you could actually get it, but you're not going to get it until 2026, which kind of caused me to be one very angry and upset bloke. However, I did come to realise that this was an opportunity for me to learn a new style of training. Although I was a PT before, I had a fully equipped studio gym. It was absolutely beautiful, to say the least. However, it had everything I needed to not want to do non-weight training. Okay, and my clients didn't really want to do non-weight training because they come to the studio gym because the facilities were good. However, even though I didn't have a lot of information on non-weight training, I kind of just thought to myself, do you know what? I'm a qualified PT. I know what I'm doing. Let's step out into the garden, let's see the space I've got, and kind of let's just do my thing. This is where I made the first and worst mistake of quarantine. Right, so I went into training without a plan, and for me, that is probably the stupidest thing you can do, because training without a plan essentially is training blind. You're working towards no purpose, no achievements, no goals, and you could be working, get to this point that you've been working towards, and essentially look at yourself and go, do you know what, this isn't where I wanted to be. Why? Because you've not put plans and goals in place to achieve them. You're going out and exhausting yourself as I was, and you're achieving pretty much not much because you've not got structured plans put together which are going to accommodate to the goals you put in place. Okay, so there I was breaking my first and most important rule when I stepped into fitness, which was work smart, not essentially hard. Okay, so the first thing which I noticed when I broke this rule was training was an absolute mess. It had no logical order and I was going out until I exhausted myself, and that is a very easy way to become disguised in thinking you're doing the right thing. Being exhausted doesn't necessarily mean you're training right. So when I come across this, I'll be exhausted, I'll come inside, but I was not even nearly feeling the satisfaction which I would when I was leaving the gym. So obviously my mindset for training completely changed, because all I'd known before was going to the gym with a very structured plan, with all the equipment needed and hitting the goals which I set in place. Okay, it was at this point where I just stopped and looked at myself and thought, it can't be like this. Surely this is how quarantine is going to be. Put all this work in for it to just stop now, have no purpose. So after looking at myself for a solid 23 seconds, I kind of just thought, right, it's time to make a change. I can't live life like this. It's time to make a dramatic change and time to get my life and my fitness life back in place. Right, I knew that I had to stop feeling the satisfaction that I once felt, otherwise I'd fall out of love with training, which genuinely I was. So at this point, I knew I had to do one very important thing, which was my go-to once training wasn't feeling tip-top, which was to set goals and make a plan. So it's at this point where me and training were on a bit of a breakup. It was going through proper domestics. Like, I'd walk out to the grass and I'd look at the grass and be like, I'm not even training today, I don't even like you anymore. When before I'd walk into a gym, look at a dumbbell and probably want to marry it. It was a deep connection I had. I do miss my dumbbells. They'll be back, I know, it's patience, but right now, it was time to make a plan and it was time to put in some goals which I could achieve with no equipment. Okay, so at the point that I realised I needed to make a plan, set some goals, I need to do the next thing. I put my ego aside and realise that I'm not an expert in non-weight training and do some research. I hadn't done any research since I was at uni, and I hadn't done any research in training since I was a PT, and all that research was essentially for a fully equipped gym, like I said. So now I needed to step into a whole new dynamic of training and figure out how I was going to achieve the goals. I'll talk about the goals that I wanted to set out later, but how I was going to achieve the goals whilst using no equipment. So whilst I was researching, I actually went to realise there's apparently a whole new race of humans which have been doing this non-weight training, no weights, none at all, for I don't know how long, because the amount of methods and styles of non-weight training that I've seen, I was taken back. People have been doing this proper seriously as well, and it's not like it was new for me to see, but I just didn't realise that many people did it, to be honest with you. It's quite crazy. But anyway, it was good that there was so much variety out there for me to actually explore, and I had a few options which I could pick in terms of my types of training I wanted to do. So after looking at all the training types, I kind of found one which spoke to me. 4 simple big capital letters: high intensity interval training. That seemed right up my street. I felt like it was time to dive into this and see what won. So this style of training was very different to any training I did before, because the standard bodybuilding training that I did before was kind of sitting there, lifting a weight, checking my phone, taking a second, chat to my boy, what you saying, what you have for dinner, lifting a weight, repeating the exact same process. Basically what I'm saying is bodybuilder training for me is good, but it never made me work as intense, just because the rest periods between sets were a little bit too long, because you need to allow your muscles to actually recover a little bit before you go into the next set if you're wanting to lift real heavy. Alright, so the next thing I needed to do was to set goals. And for me, this is going to be the most important thing. I needed to make my goals, number 1, relatable to work, and number 2, relatable to what I actually want. Okay, so when we talk about work, being a model, I can't be too big, can't be walking around like this like I used to, and I can't be too skinny, be as skinny as I was when I was 16, because that was peak. So I need to throw them two out the way, I need to become lean. I was able to achieve these goals before in the gym because I could balance the cardio with the weight training to give me this nice structured lean physique. So I needed to maintain one simple goal, which was to maintain my current muscle mass whilst improving on my cardio. Okay, so my relationship with cardio started this quarantine, and it was one of them where it took a while to grow. I'll go for a run at the start, maybe 5 meters or so, feel pretty exhausted. 5 meters turns to 10 meters. 10 meters turn into 20 meters with a smile on my face now. All of a sudden, man was running marathons. When I say marathons, I mean 6K, which for me is good. I've never been into cardio before, but now I'm at the point where cardio is getting better. I'm able to run with a smile on my face. This is a fake smile. I hope you can see it. I don't enjoy cardio. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't. I do it for fitness reasons and mental health reasons. It makes me feel good inside. It makes me feel good in my head. That's why I do it. But when I'm running, I ain't liking it too much, to be honest with you. Okay, so the relationship I was about to build with cardio, I knew it was going to be a long one, but I was looking forward to the journey because I love stepping outside of my comfort zone and exploring something that I haven't actually gone into before. So now I have my goals set in place. It was time to do the exciting thing, which I should have done on day one. It was time to make a plan. The plan was based on the facilities I had, which was a garden rectangle space, AstroTurf to be precise, nice and cozy on the feet. It was one of them when you stepped onto it for the first time, you kind of looked down at your feet and you thought, whoa, it's comfy this, isn't it? But anyway, back to a situation. I had a plan with absolutely no equipment, which was, for me, it was quite fun. I felt motivated, I felt ready. For the first time, I was ready to feel the satisfaction I once did when I stepped outside the gym. Alright, so the first thing I had to do was essentially find alternative compound exercises, which I usually do in the gym. So when I say compound exercises, I mean the ones which hit the major muscle groups where you work at more than one muscle at once. Alright, so I use 4 simple compound exercises, which are essentially the same exercise I'll do in the gym, but obviously with no equipment. Okay, so the first exercise I was able to find an alternative for was for an overhead shoulder press, and this was by simply switching the resistance to using body weight instead of dumbbells. You can also make this easier by closing the angle of the legs or increasing the angle of the legs. If we have it smaller, the more force is going to be put on the shoulders, wider, the less force on the shoulders. Okay, for me this was the easiest out of all the compound exercises that I had to find, and that was a standard press up. Here I could work the upper, lower and middle part of the chest by using different variations, which gave me that nice shape around the chest. As I used to do these before when I was doing the normal training, I can hit high reps, which means I'm going to be able to fatigue the chest without even lifting heavy weights. Right, so the next alternative compound I had to find was for a standard squat, and it is exactly the same. The principles stay the same, even though the environment has changed. We're maintaining the depth, we're keeping the heels nice and planted towards the ground, and we're bringing the knees out as we squat. Here, I use a bag with some water bottles inside because obviously I don't have any weights because everyone's decided to buy them online. So what I did was just use lower weight and just did a higher rep range with more sets. Okay, so the final exercise I needed to find an alternative for was for a row, so we can work the back muscles. Okay, the way I did this was the same way that essentially I did the squat. It was by using the bag as loaded weight, so essentially replacing the bag for a dumbbell or barbell, and I'll be running all the way down, although I did use a chair on this one, just so I could extend the range of movement, so when I come up and squeeze it's higher, and I can stretch the lat further I come down. Alright, so them 4 exercises obviously are not going to help me maintain all the muscle which I've been able to gain over the years. However, I was able to also add other exercises involved which will hit the little muscles as well. For example, the calves, the biceps, the triceps, the delts. I was able to all hit these using little exercises in between, hitting them at a high rep range to ensure that the muscle is going to be fatigued. Alright, so to conclude this video, I think I've come to realise that bodybuilding training is not actually going to be for me from now. I think after this is all over, don't get me wrong, man has missed weights, and I probably will step into the gym after this and lift a few dumbbells over my head. Maybe even do a few on my chest, just because it's been a while. But I think when I get to compare that training with HIIT training, I will continue to do HIIT training and non-weight training because it's, for me, more interesting. It feels like I'm putting in more work. Alright people, so a little bit of advice which I've definitely learned during this quarantine time, which is to 100% do not be afraid to throw yourself into new situations and get out of your comfort zone. Before this, I would have never afford to do any non-weight training or even to learn a new style of training because I've been so dedicated in my career to learning this one style of training, which is bodybuilding training. Okay, but now doing this, I've gone to realise that bodybuilding training isn't actually for me. I'm not against it, but I've learned just by throwing myself into a new situation that I've got a whole new training method to actually explore and research, and I could not be more excited to do it. So guys, don't be scared to try something new. My content is going to be aimed towards more fitness now. I'm going to do some random stuff as well. Might eat some more calories, might do another Q&A sometime soon, but put in the comments what you want to see and I'm going to get some stuff out there. But for now, good vibes only. Let's get it. Achieve more, do more. Let's go.